Hi guys, Rizix here. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create and add your custom assets into my EnvIt scattering script for Maya. As you may already know, it's based on new USD workflow and file. So be sure to have everything you need in Maya in terms of plugin. For that, we can check the plugin manager, and you should have the Maya USD plugin load. We will need the LookDev, this one, LookDev X Maya for shading, and also all the Bifrost part, but this is for EnvIt, you already know that. So just before to start, let's talk about a bit of how to organize or workflow. You have your Maya main scene here, and USD file will be reference file, so that will be loaded into your main scene. You should have something like that. For example, I would create a tree A with these two files, original for edit, and you understand the USD I will load into Maya, and etc. for my grass, and I will build my own library. Just one point that what is really awesome with USD file is that it's universal. In terms of software, that means that the tree, for example, I will create in this video in Maya will be loaded and works perfectly in any other software that support USD, like Houdini, for example. So here I will use SpeedTree to create my tree asset, okay? But this workflow can work with anything, okay? With geometry and texture, you can use with Megascan or any asset you create or get from anywhere, okay? So in SpeedTree, I will create a new, and here I will use a sample from SpeedTree, which is awesome. You know, in modeler you have two kind of workflow for gaming or VFX. We will use the VFX one, and yes, choose this first model. To do the best showcase as possible, we will also work with animation. You will see that works based on USD. It's really simple to everything is packaged. You don't have cage file or anything anymore. Just so this only thing I will need to check here is to enable my wing, and in order that well explicit for everyone, I will up the strength really high, maybe some turbulence. Yes, see, I want to have some nice wind effect. Great, let's close that. So this is my tree with animation and everything. I will go to File, Export Mesh, or Control E. Of course, be sure to be on VFX and on the Maya preset. That will help us. File type, I will choose USD file. Keep everything like this for grouping by materials. That will be easier for us to reassign. Texture, do whatever you want, of course. I will not do too much. I will uncheck that. Otherwise, that export, you know, summer, winter, a lot of variation. You can have a grow effect. I will not do that, it's too complicated. Wind will be enough. Wind looping, I will some. Yes, maybe. And be careful because your file size will be really heavy. Okay, you know, it's a lot of polygon. I will just do it on 5 seconds in not so much frame rate. Okay, for this that will be okay. Include geometry, yes. Don't touch anything. For Maya, that's something that means here you have to check swap X, Y, Z axis. Otherwise, your tree will not be rotated correctly. I think it's okay. Let's export it to my, let's say, SpeedTree export Okay. And in this folder, I will export everything. Okay, so just look the file. So a lot of texture, great. It seems it export me variation, but anyway, I will build everything then. And the USD file you see is about 2.5 gigabyte. Okay, so of course, as there is animation, it's a bit heavy, but it's great. So this is a patch with all my file. Now I we need to go to Maya to compose it. So as I show you in the organization, avoid to work in heavy scene or things like that. Try to keep things simple. Okay, one new fresh Maya scene for one tree, one asset. Okay, to be sure to understand what you are doing. Okay, because USD, material X, look dev X, bifrost, EnvIt, it's a lot of information and that can be quickly complex. What you need first is the USD layer editor. You can dock it somewhere. I will of course save my scene. Same thing as okay somewhere, and we will immediately load the USD file. So create from file. Okay, it's here. So this one I export here. Be sure to well be in this OS dialog, okay, not the Windows native, to well uncheck make patch relative to scene file. It will depend on your version, okay, there is a lot of update on this from Autodesk. I'm not on the most recent one, but for this one that avoids some bug. Okay, so my tree is here. You have now in the USD layer editor this, but we don't really need this, it's just to load. And in Outliner you have all the structure, which we will deal with. Okay, just verify the animation. You can go to lighting, to side lighting if you want to have the leaves not too much black. Okay, load the tree and check the animation. Yes, that works perfectly. Great. Now we have to clean everything. Here, when you deploy a bit in the outliner, okay, you have simply all the different geometry and the material. What I advise you is that is to delete all those material and create new one, because it's all create automatically, and I think that not works correctly with Arnold. So we will just simplify everything and create our own material. Same thing, you have a lot of variation here. It depends on the quality you want, okay? But for me, it's not a tree I will see in close-up, as it's for it in order to use with EnvIt, okay, as a scattering with really far away distance, okay. I don't need too much detail like this. Okay, when you save your Maya scene, it will ask you this. Why? Because you remember there is two separate files, my Maya scene and the USD, okay, which is reference. So I want to save the Maya scene and the USD, so save Maya scene and the USD file. Don't ask. Okay, so each time that will save both information. Okay, so now what is really important? What I want is this specific USD works with the EnvIt script. And in order that the script is able to read all the information, which is the geometry, material, proxy, and all he need, okay, we have to organize and set here everything in an exact way. So I did one image to explain all the workflow and all the checkup to be sure everything is set correctly. Okay, and I will show you how to do that. What is powerful with this structure is especially for high-res geometry and low poly viewport display, because you know the problem when you do scattering with a million polygon tree like this one is that you can't display it in your viewport. Okay, so what is great is to do a proxy LOD version just for display in viewport, and you know when you hit render that will of course replaced by the high-res full things. But in order that EnvIt works correctly with that, we have to do this structure. I will put it, for example, into pure ref to have all of the structure just with me. Okay, so one important thing is that the main, let's say the root here, the name is exactly the same than your file. Okay, you see my file here is broadleaf field .usd broadleaf field. Okay, it's automatically renamed. It's okay for me, but in any case, you have to verify that, otherwise that will not work. Then what you want shape. Okay, here that change a bit. So even if you're not really familiar with USD, you will see it's not really complicated. You just have to put the same icon. Let's say here it's a kind of group icon that comes just after that. So you right click here and you have all the options. It's something that is called prim. You see it's the Xform one. I will create one. Always the same name. So again, I will put here and just after the shape. In this simple one, there is one geo prim with the high-res, one proxy, and no, geo with render and proxy, sorry. So one geo and one MTL for material. So, okay, let's create a new prim scope. So one is geo, that will contain geometry, you understand, and the other one, which is for MTL material. Material, it's okay. I will put all my new material here. And now I need one render and one proxy. Same thing for LOD, so one new scope, which is render. Be sure to write it exactly like that with uppercase, and everything should be exactly, because you know scripts are really strict and don't like when it's not perfect. Okay, so let's now put all my geometry which are here into render. I can delete this and it's okay. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, seems okay, perfect. I will save that. Now, let's continue on the geometry part. We need a proxy. So it's not an obligation. Okay, you can use a sphere or a preset one from EnvIt, but how to do a proxy as you want. Really simple, you know. Of course, the important thing is to be really low polygon, because that will be for viewport display. What I did is, you know, I create a kind of with a sphere for a tree, for example, to be sure to well have the, you know, the box, the cage. Let's say, okay, we can do that, and you can do really complex things. Complex, you know. I mean, we can, for example, also put a trink with two shader in order that your viewport look nice already with the contact. I do it quickly, but you understand. I will call that trunk. Anyway, LOD or proxy anyway. And here is for leaves LOD. Okay. Now, problem here is it's too let's say Maya geometry, okay, and this is not an editable geometry, it's an USD convert one. You see all inside this is USD and here is classic Maya. I want this classic to be converted and sent to my USD pipe. It's important, in fact, if you don't use SpeedTree, of course, and you model your own tree, you will have to do this step. So there is an easy way to do that, is to right-click on your geometry and duplicate as USD data, and you send, we have only one here. Okay, what it did, it duplicates this one and create a USD. So now be careful, I have both. So of course you can organize as you want. I will hide if I want to edit again and send again. I will do the same for this one, but here I will delete because I know it's okay. I will delete the set I don't want, and I have now my 2 USD. I will send to proxy. Great. Okay, let's now build our material. I will just hide proxy for now. Open Arnold, create just a sky dome to have some light, of course. Okay, so I can now do my look dev. Let's start with the trunk. Select it, right click, assign new material. I will build with Arnold one, okay, because I'm working always with Arnold, so for me is way better. Standard surface. Okay, so my material, you see it create here by default is the structure. It create a new MTL one, which is not the one I want. We can already select, be sure to select there are both the first one, and drag and drop here in the right place. I will rename my trunk shader. The problem here is he lost the assignment because I moved the shader. So I will reassign it with right click, existing trunk one. Now let's be sure if I select the first one is just the main shape and the second one is all the attribute. I will come here and put one nice color. Yes, that works. Okay. If, how to say, all the USD don't work with classic legacy hypershade. Okay, you have to use what we call lookdev X graph, which is kind of new hypershade designed for USD file. Best way is just you select that and you right click and show in lookdev X to open the graph and start or shading. So same thing, I select it. I also found the attribute here. Okay, so it's not really an in-depth tutorial about that, just you can learn things from what I will do, but I'm not really at ease with that. What I need is I will do I don't I don't want to do a really complex material shading networks. Okay, just keep things simple, that works well most of the time. Okay, so I will need the diffuse, the normal map. Don't put the 8. I will start with the normal map, or maybe the base, just to show you. That should work if you drag and drop. Okay, it will load your image correctly. That should work. Now I will right click, not right click, sorry, drag and drop the base, the auto base color. And yes, that works. Nice. So this is okay. Now the normal map. Same thing, I right click on it. As always, color space, utility, raw, classic. Now with tab, I will call here normal map node. Be sure to reference Arnold one, this one, okay. Just the out in the input and the out in geometry normal. And I have my normal. my specular is too high, the roughness, okay, and it's pretty all for me. You can plug other map if you want, but I will not go more in depth on the shading side. What will interest me is maybe to show you, I would select everything and same thing, do only one new material for the leaves. Be sure to place here. So I have to reassign. And right click, show in look dev X in a new tab, why not? Or sometimes you are at this level, you have to double click in to go inside. And same thing, really fast, what we have. I need an alpha and just one color, like this one, that will be enough. I don't need more. So opacity, utility, raw, alpha just in base, specular. I don't need too much. Intensity. Yes, geometry, opacity, and I will check where is that geometry thin wall, because there is no thickness. And let's check what we have. Okay, that seems to work. Let's zoom a bit more. Yes, the alpha is working great. Okay, one more time, I will not zoom like that, that will be really far away tree. Okay, now I will quickly work on my proxy. So for the proxy, I will not use Arnold shader because they don't display well in viewport, and I don't care about rendering for the proxy, that because it will only be displayed, you know, in the viewport. So I will use the USD preview surface that works better just for the viewport. Call leaves proxy SHD, okay, and or here just put a nice green color. I was not in the right, I'm confused, sorry. So be sure yes to first put this shader here, okay, and now maybe I can also directly diffuse color. Yes, now that works as expected. Okay, can I duplicate this one maybe directly? Let's go a trunk proxy SHD that I will assign here, and but yes, but brown color. Okay, my viewport, perfect. Okay, we are almost done. Now the problem is, of course, the proxy is display. Delete this one. Okay, verify your structure and everything. Okay, the second right checkup is to verify to reassign. Okay, but we already did it because, you know, I did when I move the shader, so it's okay for the shader, everything is okay, the hierarchy, that should work. If you miss something, it's not really a problem, okay? Because as everything is in reference, when you are in main scene and you will load your tree in EnvIt, if that don't work, you just go back to your USD scene, you modify the here something you miss, and that will automatically update and fix the thing, so don't worry if you do something wrong here. Last thing is to select the render node. We have to configure this to purpose as render. It will disappear from viewport. In proxy, purpose to proxy. Very simple. It's still in the viewport. But when I hit render, we have now what we want. Okay. You can save. And here we are. Your asset is now ready. So, of course, that can be a bit long, but you know, it's a powerful workflow. And once you're at ease with, that will be faster. And I will try when on future update of EnvIt to maybe automate that, give you some template, you know. And it's just the beginning of EnvIt. I'm working on something that I will release when everything will be a bit more developed, which is EnvIt library. Okay, it's not available for now. It's still in development, but you understand the things. Once you have created your tree with animation and everything, you can store it in an hard drive or any specific location for that, and have it in nice library where I can, you know, open the USD edit, and just with one click, I will load it into EnvIt and I can use it anytime. So it's long to create, but after you have a biome of assets you create with high quality, everything, and you can do your environment works really fast and focus on your art. Okay, let's now have fun and test it with EnvIt. So I will launch the script on a new simple scene setup with a ground here. So first thing you know, I will not explain EnvIt here, there is already a tutorial for that. First thing, I need to create a system. I will call that my ground. Okay, here my layer, what will be for the tree, but what you want. When you hit enter, be sure to wait that EnvIt create everything. You maybe have some pop-up, but that should work. If you have this little blue scatter point, it's okay. And here is all the EnvIt system we don't touch. And my scatter point. Okay. Now I want to load my own USD. So you have the quick create one. Okay, already explained. What we want now is a plus to just simply load one USD. Okay, so I will locate my tree here and open. Same thing, wait the time EnvIt create everything. So first problem for me here, that seems to work, but I think I have a scene size problem. So one way to fix that is I can, here I have my asset, I will click to access to the property and just say the asset scale to be lower. Yes, it's one solution, and now that works. Okay, here in while I'm on the asset scale, notice you can repatch. If you want to switch, for example, from another tree, you can just point here another USD. You have the viewport display option, so if you want to use of course a preset, or here to well display my be sure to click here to well display so the custom one, and this will display the high res. Okay, so avoid to click on here, that will crash your viewport maybe. Great. Okay, now I can go to distribution. Let's say I prefer a blue noise one. I will create some random in rotation, in scale. Let's up a bit my ground. Okay. Nice. Here I can see all my three area are pointing from the normal. So I can check up orient to have the tree, but to the sky. You can blend it. Okay, you see everything is easy after to set with EnvIt. About the distribution, mask by mask, no, I will not use a mask. I have my sphere here. Where is my sphere? I can just use the sphere as subtract, okay, area. You can also use a curve to create a patch. Okay, you have then a fall off. So you already know that. I'll just show you how everything is simple to play with after. Okay, it's enough. Now the big test is to open Arnold and hit render. In just some seconds that load in Arnold. Okay, so that works really well. Maybe my lighting is not great. And of course, if you hit play, that will animate the tree on the render. Okay, nice. About animation, I did another test, okay, to verify, and you see that works pretty well, as expected. Okay, what's to show you then? Yes, it's not, one more time, the library is not available actually, but the idea is then, here I'm on my tree layer, for example, and inside you can create a biome, okay, with other tree and create grass with grass, okay, for example. And with the library, then I should be able to open it and say, okay, I want also to vary with this one. Okay, maybe not so much. I want them to be a bit bigger. Okay, the great thing about that, you understand, is all this new sample pane is now affected by all the distribution and effect I'm creating. And if I hit render. Okay, so I really hope you will like to use EnvIt, and please things to share on the Discord some rips if you use it and do some tests. That will really help me as it's still in development and I want to push it further. So thank you.